Hello everyone, it is I, Jebro. We're doing this live on stream right now. And yes, it is the Engineer Elite Specialization reveal teaser video of awesome. Sorry, the music got very energetic there. So, we're doing this live on stream as well. So we are actually going to be talking to some peeps as we go through this, which I'm excited about. So I'll say their comments as well as we do the things. Normally, I do this on record. I record this as soon as it's out. This came up at 7:45 or something ridiculous on a Saturday morning, and I was talking to the Lightbringers about this yesterday. So Kroof, Rook, Boots, and we had Ruby, who does the Guild Chat show and is an awesome force for Arena and Guild Wars 2, doing all this community stuff, marketing stuff, loads of bits and bobs, extra life and everything else, and was basically replied to their teaser tweet saying, at Jebro Unity wake up. I woke up at like 9 o'clock in the morning and I knew this would happen, and I missed it. So I thought, screw it, I'd do it live on stream before we go on to our gaming session. But just a reminder of Engineer. So if you don't know, Engineer has some weapons, doesn't have as many weapons as everyone else, the core Engineer, because it has kits specifically. So I have main hand rifle, we have, main hand pistol, offhand shield, two-handed is going to be rifle, and underwater weapon as well. It's a beautiful spec. I love the Engineer. The Engineer is my favorite. Okay, I didn't start with Engineer, I started with Mesmer, but that's because I wanted to play something completely different. Turns out Engineer is also completely different. I just didn't realize, and it's just awesome. Player character is a Char as well. This is our Char friend. I actually made an Asura. I do have a Char Engineer. Now, if you're just saying Jebro, get to it, this is a little bit different for me because this is my class. This is my baby, okay? So when I woke up and I saw that, I'm not joking, I got a little bit emotional. It's okay, all right? I love my Engineer. I have an Engineer of each race. I have almost both female and males as well. I'm gonna get around to it. I just love them. I'm excited as well, Major Calabresa. There we go. I love Engineer, so this is gonna be longer than than my past videos, because this is my love, this is my thing. But yeah, player character is the Engineer, who is a Char, of course, and that's normally what we see when there's teaser releases and everything else. I got a few tabs kind of like up and whatnot. I do have a Char, so it's okay. So what you have on your core Engineer, you have weapon kits, which is what we're talking about, like grenades and stuff like that. And you got backpack kits. Wait, what are they talking about? Backpack kits? Oh right, yeah, because the bombs, landmines, and medical supplies. So actually, that's funny because I don't have backpacks in the game. They used to call them hobo sacks. And then turrets, and then there was gadgets as well as elixirs. And I know that you love taking the piss out of me for saying elixir wrong. I just do. Lots of guns, rifle, pistols, gadgetry, machinery, all our bits and pieces like that. And obviously, gyros are with Scrapper. Scrapper is actually probably my favorite of the two elite specializations. Hollowsmith is fun. It looks very good. But in all honesty, I don't know. I'm not really the biggest DPS guy, I guess, even though Scrapper can be damage. And Hollowsmith is very, very flashy, and I know people, scream about it, but Scrapper has actually got very underneath. The traits are great, right? Hollowsmith traits, they're okay. It's very much just about the damage, about the power, and people love damage and just smashing things. And I'm just like, I'm a little bit more of a classic Engineer player. I love that kind of interaction with my bots, like my inventions. I like the interaction with like the underneath parts, like the boons, the traits involved, and the synergy within the traits, because there's great synergy in Scrapper, and you get quickness in there, and it gives you support. as well as like support in terms of damage, and it gives you like, you know, raw support in terms of like healing and everything else. So when you're thinking about an engineer and you're thinking about what is it missing, that's what we first always think about when we go into these, at least what I do, and we think about them in terms of like the Lightbringers podcast, and we think, all right, what's missing from engineer? In all honesty, I'm not too sure. Condition damage, I remember talking about confusion being something we missed. Otherwise, not really sure. Weapon wise, we haven't really had we haven't got a good solid main hand weapon, you know, outside of, you know, sword for Holosmith. And obviously that doesn't mean anything, like, you know, because you go to core engineer, you've just got the pistol. So like pairing it with something like, you know, a main hand or an offhand, and we're going to see what it is in a sec, is very, very interesting. Exactly, like Ukon says, hollow traits are kind of all in on Photon Forge. So Photon ain't awesome to you, there ain't much to salvage it. Yeah, I mean, Photon Forge is great fun, but in all honesty, like the overheat, I overheat a lot, so it's my own skill probably. I just prefer Scrapper. Scrapper's fun. I love the look and the explosive light and the holographic theme of and the very 80s theme of Holosmith, because, you know, I'm an 80s kid, but like Scrapper is my fave. So yeah, the offhand missing, you know, I really wanted a mace main hand with shield, and also something where you were a bit more very, very focused on support, but like at the same time, Scrapper is very supporting with gyros, so it's like, I don't know. So we've been speculating that it's Golomancy. Actually, I was Googling Jade Detect there for a while as well, because that's something that is going to be probably involved when we go over to the teaser. But we were talking about Golomancy yesterday. We were talking about Ula. Well, I was talking about Ula specifically, who is a necromantic Golomancer, I guess. And that's what came up for me today when we saw the teaser. So if you don't know, Ula created a mobile spell working platform for use against the destroyers, perfected the technique of necromantic Golomancy, but guarded her secrets too well. It makes me think about where they were, who they are specifically, and we can look at that maybe in a minute. And if this has anything to do with End of Dragons, maybe not. But when you go over to the image, and Asura are the best. Yes, they are, Brindle. And hello. Hello, everyone who came into the chat as well live. We're on Twitch live while we're doing this. So I will be saying hello to people. Yes, it's green. Doesn't necessarily mean it's very close to a necro feel of things, okay? And when we look at things as well in these, there's lots to look at. And obviously, if you're coming to stream right now and you're coming and you're thinking, where's my sound? It's because I'm doing a video for YouTube as well. And hello, everyone who's coming. Now, there is Jade Tech involved in End of Dragons. We know this, and I actually do need to get up the End of Dragons website. Because there is an image that is interesting that I forgot to pull up actually, and if anyone can find it with the hand, the character with the hand thing, I can't remember what it's called, that would be very, very awesome, because I can't seem to find it randomly. So if you want to link it in chat and you've got a sub, that would be massively appreciated. So this is obviously perspective. The perspective is difficult. If you really, really, really want to think about it, if you really, really, really want to hope, you could maybe think that they were facing away from us. They're obviously facing us, because, you know, that would be silly for them to not be facing us. And also in terms of perspective, hand kind of out a little bit. Looks like the claw is kind of, you know, it just feels like it's looking at us. It's not a main hand, but but okay, not necessarily meaning that it doesn't give you 5 abilities. Now, this, and bear with me now, because ArenaNet have said, you know, they're changing all the rules and everything else. It could be offhand, but when you have it and you're in this elite spec specialization, it could be maybe 5 abilities. You don't know. There is nothing in their right hand at the moment. And have we had any offhand elite specializations yet? I don't think so, right? I don't think so, actually. So, changing the rules, they could do that. Now, this is interesting. And obviously, when you look at the engineer, you look at the armor, there isn't really anything that I can think of in terms of past armor where the hand has this kind of these wires, I guess, other than the Aether Blade armor. Oh yeah, Pistol and Warrior is one of them. That's true. Yeah, I'm gonna get to all the things, don't worry peeps. Oh, is Willbender as well, offhand sword? Yeah, all right, well, who cares about those specs? This is why I asked, because now we've got 2 and it's like, damn it, okay, fine. Yes, I just forgot. I was just excited. I was just thinking, engineer, I hope it's just going to be the only one that does. And it does. It's not. There's 3 out of the 9. So, you know, Jebro shush. It is the only thing that matters. There's Creef as well, who has a video. Make sure you go and check it out. I'll put it in the comments below of this. But okay, so Really Geek, who's our awesome mod, actually sent something to me this morning and said Rock'em Sock'em Robots, and that was very interesting. And then it made me think about that game, that Asura game that's in the beginning of the Asura area, and you play those like Rock'em Sock'em kind of robots as well, the hologram ones. And then I was like, oh, that's cool, right? I wonder. So then I was thinking, and I know what you're thinking, like there's this fist weapon. It looks like a fist. But it's not. I mean, it's not that. This is not their hand. This isn't their hand. Their hand is here. They're holding mace, basically. That's my theory. I know nothing about leaks, so if it's whatever, like, you just don't even bother posting it. And I'll get round to that. Don't worry, everyone. I'll get round to that. But it looks like I'm holding some kind of mace, or maybe it could be like a war horn, something like that. But it feels like a mace because you've got your hand like this. The hand is like, you know, like that, and it's pointing. Okay. It's not. If it was a war horn, it would be more like that. It would be more. And if their hand was up, their hand would be more like that. It wouldn't be like, you don't hold a war horn like that. You know, you could hold a scepter like that, but offhand scepter isn't a thing. And I mean, again, it doesn't mean it can't be. It could be very, very, very off chance. It could be a torch. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a mace, and it could be a focus. Yeah, it could be a focus, and it could be a torch. Now, obviously, torches have fire coming off them. So, whether or not that's something specifically you need in this teaser is another thing. Don't think it's a torch, but it could be a focus. It could be an offhand mace. We know offhand mace is a thing for classes. There are options there. If it was a mace, I would actually be pretty hype about that, because a few reasons. Mace on the offhand is pretty much, I think it's more of a defensive weapon for warrior, right? Which means it's guarding you, but also, and also it means that I can go for the legendary mace. because we got to do that journey. And disco mace is I'm up for that. I think it's interesting that the mace does look like a fist, and it's worth thinking about the mace and what that, if it is a mace, what that shape is about and what that means as well. And it's interesting because if you look at the green here, it looks like also in a way that the mace is kind of channeled in, the power is kind of channeled into the mace. It looks like it's kind of coming from either the ground or from the fist, and it's kind of going up and around into the mace in a way. Or this is just a squiggle behind them and it has no reference and it doesn't matter whatsoever. Could be. But what could this mean? What are they doing? He's kind of like he's pointing at something. It's like, looks like he's ordering. I would say this is very much a stance of like ordering something, or he's casting something. What is it though? What is it now? Like Rock and Sock and Robots, you do control, and this is, Reader's got this in my head. You do control with like these little stick things, right? And you punch and stuff. I've got a feeling that this is going to be some kind of, we've been bashing on about Golomancer, and I can't shake it. So either golems or some kind of Jade holographic tech. And thinking about spirit weapons for Guardian, and thinking about how we've seen holograms and stuff over time for a long time, and how it could even be, if it's not golems, it could be some kind of holographic-esque type of spirit weapon technology, which, you know, has been developed. So this is different, what I'm thinking. Range knockdown 4 is might, and vulnerability stacking doubled if... Oh, okay, so sorry, main hand mace is maybe more defensive. Okay, so it's more buffing. So that would be good. We can have a look at that, actually. I will have a look at offhand mace skills warrior again, and like I'm fine to be wrong. This is all good. I'm trying to remember all the things. Oh right, yeah, okay. Crush your opponent's armor, leaving them vulnerable. Oh, that's the 4th skill. Okay, good. And then smash the ground with your mace, damaging your target and sending out a shockwave that damages and knocks down foes. Interesting. Okay, so and mace on, no, that's main hand. There is no mace for anyone else offhand really either. Okay, so if we're thinking mace, it could be some kind of CC. It also could be, it could be whatever. It doesn't matter, you know. It literally could be anything. But looking at what the mace is, well, crushing blow. Crushing blow is the vulnerability, and you gain might. And then you've got the disable, and then you've got the 5th skill is the smash the ground under damaging and sending out shockwave. Okay, and knockdown. So that's pretty cool. I like that. So that could work. If it was a similar kind of thing to Warrior, it could work in terms of controlling enemies and then sending out bots, sending out holograms, or spirit weapons, whatever. But thinking about it, like, yes, I'm not like massively into AI, and I am hoping that this isn't going to be massively about AI, more about activation of some skills maybe, or some skills that are very much in a place, because I'm not a massive fan of minions in Guild Wars 2 for Necromancer, and that would make me maybe a little bit sad, depending on whether or not you could order them to do specific things, and as long as they weren't just things that soaked up damage and all this kind of stuff as you kind of ran around, because otherwise it would be kind of similar to Minimancer, and maybe, you know, even Scrapper to a degree. I'm just trying to find these images for the Jade Tech stuff. Don't know if anyone else found it at all. It's the person from the End of Dragons website, and I cannot for the life of me find it. Campus technology, no. If anyone does find it again, that would be massively appreciated. Yeah, okay, but what is the image? Where is the image? I need to find it. There they are. Okay, I got it. Sick. All right, this is the guy. Because we keep talking about them as well. This is the person, sorry. And they have some tech, obviously, in their arms. So this is actually making me think a lot about the technology that might be available to the engineer. And it makes sense, obviously. Jade tech is something that is going to be in the game for classes, and it's going to be a thing, all right? It just is. Color, very similar. Green, obviously, especially here, the green that's here. Someone did mention something about because it is lighter green around here. They did mention something about that being like a shadow or something, like, you know, I don't know. It could just be something which trying to highlight the character more. Someone said that in chat. That was quite a good thing to mention. Doesn't necessarily mean this is an engineer, but they do have wrenches, as you say in America. Here, I call them spanners. Should I tell you what I really like is the idea that we haven't seen many NPCs or anything with like prosthetic limbs or anything like that. I actually really like this this whole thing. Like, you know, it brings an idea about accessibility. It brings out an idea about other do you know what I mean? It just outside of the able-bodied norm of things, and I really like that. I think that's cool. And I don't know, it just makes me think. I'm wondering about what this can be like skins wise. It could be just awesome. But yeah, I'm excited to see that story as well. It should be very good. Maybe the mace is like a wrench a la Team Fortress, and you can repair yeah, maybe. I mean, it could be possibly. I don't know though. I'm kind of hoping not. We did speculate that during the Lightbringers podcast as well. But anyway, so thinking about what this is, just off of this image, thinking about some of those skills and thinking about what the image is doing, it looks like he's kind of ordering something, someone, holograms, bots, whatever they are, golems, if it's going to be that. And it's using this Jade technology. Now, the Jade tech is probably powering it, but it's probably overpowering it as well, I would say, maybe. So it makes me think about turrets, because, you know, you overload turrets. Gyros also explode, and when they finish, they normally have an effect after them. So the bots kind of have these AoE effects. So it makes me think, you know, maybe you can send these things out and you can, you know, destroy things. You can... you know, maybe give boons and whatnot as well. Who knows? What I'm wondering is are they going to be these things which you order around, or are they going to be stuck to you and they send out abilities and do some kind of ranged abilities? Or is it even going to be like that at all? Because it doesn't have to be. It could just be like some kind of range, because you think about engineer, it hasn't got that much range. It's, yeah, everyone's using engineer, like everyone's using grenades in PvP, I know that. Otherwise, it's a fairly close range spec. Like Holosmith is sword, which is, you know, melee. It's not like, you know, it's not like a Mesmer sword, great sword or anything like that. All the daggers now virtuoso, going for range, like really long range. Hammer was very, very close range as well. And now they've got mace, but it's offhand. So now you've got to think about, okay, my main hand weapon. So if the maces are going to take over the right hand as well and give us 5 skills, your right hand is going to be a pistol. Now the pistol damage is... Someone's trying to call me. The pistol is like mid-range, right? So let's have a look at pistol on engineer and see what that's about, because that's worth talking about as well. So pistol engineer G02. That's the build. Fine. It would tell me the range on there anyway. So 900. So it's not like, you know, it's not long range, but it's kind of mid to, it's kind of getting there. Pistol is pretty good. So pistol is going to give you bleeding, it's going to give you poison, and it's going to give you confusion and blindness. We're actually and blinding, sorry. We were talking about an engineer spec that might give more confusion. So with this spec, it's different, right? Because you have an offhand for warrior. Warrior has a ton of main hand weapons, right? You have an offhand for guardian. It's got more than one main hand weapon. Engineer has a pistol, okay? Engineer has just the pistol. So this could be condition based, could be, because the pistol is condition based itself, but it doesn't have to be. But the thing is there's nothing else to put it with. Like, you can't put it with anything else. We only have one main hand weapon and kits. This is making me think that the offhand mace is gonna give us 5 skills, or it's gonna be very much condition damage based, or it's got to give us a ton of survivability and buffs. Because offhand shield is the main offhand of the core engineer, and that gives us, if you trait as well, things like, you know, it gives you projectile reflection, it gives you a block, it gives you a knockback, it gives you AoE blast, it gives you stuns, you know, it gives you a lot of control and defense. And the mace has to have that. It really does, because otherwise in PvP and World v World, for example, offhand mace probably wouldn't be used that much, because it probably doesn't offer much protection unless it gives off a lot of boons, maybe other bits and bobs. But pistol, then, it just makes me think like this, if it doesn't do something extra with pistol or give you something else in your main hand, I don't know. It's going to be very, very interesting. The engineer is very, very different. It's, you know, it's like Ellie, right? In that kind of, you know, non-swapping, weapon swapping way, but at least you get like different achievements where you got a ton of different skills. So even if you had one main hand weapon, you'd still have, you know, 3, 6, 9, 12 skills. You wouldn't have to go into fire and lightning, for example. You could just stay in water and earth. It was just, if those were better for defense, whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's like, So that's something I'm worried about, but also excited about, because it could just be an offhand weapon, and that's gives you 5 skills. I need to find now, if you remember specifically, I'm going to try and find it. Let me try and find it. So, Willbender image, Guild Wars 2. Let's have a look at the Willbender image. Okay, so the Willbender image was... Why you do this? The Willbender is holding 2 swords. Okay. The Willbender isn't just holding an offhand sword, it is holding 2 swords. Okay, let's have a look at the warrior. Blade Sworn teaser image. Oh, so that's different. This isn't the teaser. This is gonna get the main one up. This isn't the same, because it's not even showing you the pistol. It's actually showing you the main mechanic of the spec. Interestingly enough. So what does this mean for NG? It could mean nothing, and it could actually mean absolutely nothing, or it could mean everything, because the gloves were very much a big part of this spec. Okay, remember in the teaser that the gloves were revealed and that this was part of the spec? They're just not. for the engineer teaser. They're just not. There's no big feature there. They're not really highlighted or anything. If anything, the mace is the biggest thing, and the green, right? Everything else doesn't actually matter that much, other than maybe the pose. But the green is the big part of this, probably more so than any other teaser, and obviously the weapon there, the mace. So this makes me think, okay, Willbender had the offhand sword, that's their weapon, and they've got the main hand sword there just to be, this makes sense. This is part of their lore, I guess, as well as this character is. Yeah, the wiring on the gloves, which is something Ukon said, is the only thing that I'm thinking of as well. Yes. And it does make me think about something channeling through, like, to do something. And this is why it makes me think that the mace, maybe, is this thing which is directing traffic almost to a degree, if you want to make sense. But the right hand could be like, I feel like, should I tell you what I want? Should I tell you what would be cool? I know it should definitely probably isn't going to be a thing. I want the right hand to be controlling something, and I want this to be ordering something. So I want this hand to be, I honestly think this could be another transform as well. Oh God, we're going now. Okay, we are off. We're absolutely off on one. I have a dream of this being a thing. Okay. We don't know already. No, I'm not checking your thing. I don't know about the leaks. I know nothing. Okay. I literally don't know. If the hand, so he could, this green is very much around the character as well. And someone mentioned this green around him. I reckon the mace maybe as well. Like it could be something where you could transform and you could turn into this Jade construct or something, and you could even just have like, maybe you could just have like Jade powers. And I feel like, kind of Iron Man-y. I don't know why, with the right hand and with the cables and with everything. Do you know what I mean? Like, how cool would that be? Like, sending out blasts as an engineer. Like, it would just be really awesome. I don't even care if it's going to be right. I don't even care that it would be, like, it's definitely not going to happen. But that looks like a fist. And it makes me think, it does make me think, because as well pistol is 900 range, which is kind of mid to long, it makes me think that mace may be a ranged ability that sends out power through the mace. It could be. They said about talking about changing all the rules. It doesn't have to be a melee weapon if it's a mace. It's a necro. Well, people keep saying necro because of green, and they keep forgetting about the Jade tech. If it is the Jade, if it is something necro based, and they could be using Jade technology to bring things back. Now we do know the Harbinger, of course, has borrowed some elements of Engineer, obviously with Elixirs. It could be that Engineer brings something up with, in terms of, going a little bit more necromantic. And obviously we saw, where was it? Here. We're talking about Golomancy, and we're talking about Ula, and Ula is a necromantic Golomancer. Ula is brilliant Asura who specializes in create constructs, humanoid magical creations of which golems are one. She is aware of her own abilities. Like many Asura, gets frustrated when others disturb her research. To that end, Ula has squirreled herself away where she can work in peace. She has assistants and welcomes no visitors, treating them as all as inferiors and interlopers. Her security measures are said to be among the finest, and her ability to keep her safe havens, blah, 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 that's actually got nothing to do with it whatsoever. But where is it? She's got skills as well. She's an engineer, and here on skills she has some interesting ones. So awaken the blood, so enchantment spell. We were talking about enchantments coming out, and it is not it is not unspoken that, you know, the engineers having these necro skills, like I'm not great at Guild Wars lore and I don't remember who this character is. Okay, but it is interesting that they have created golems. There's necromancy mentioned in this, and it is interesting that they've got hexes. They've also got lifesteal. They've also got where is it? Elite hex spell. Whenever target foe attacks or casts a spell on the creature with less health, that foe loses health. Okay, so it makes me think about hexes as well. Maybe, you know, that could be something, because you got to think about the traits. You got to think about the utilities, sorry, specifically, and what that they could be, because there's so many different things that could happen. And I'm just really excited, and thank you very much for the resub as well. I'm just really excited to find out what exactly the flip is going on, because like it could be so many things. Like, we've been talking about golemancy for ages, and here you go, there's the pistol image. Don't forget, pistol offhand as well is a thing. And I could literally go on for hours. I don't know if, yeah, like and that's the thing, like I would need to go and maybe play around with their skills and stuff, because it is very interesting, you know, because it could be a direct pull from there. It could have nothing to do with them whatsoever. We've been talking about golemancy, and obviously, where is the icon as well? I wonder if I can get myself a little bit more of a close up of that as well. See if I can find it. I failed a little bit with that. Okay, so there we go. So it's this one, right? It's this one here. One thing I do find interesting, it is this one, isn't it? Yeah. One thing I do find interesting is the one it's next to, and this could be going really out there, but this is the Necro Harbinger icon, right? Thorny Ranger one could be that one as well. Boxing cut shut. See, Snellrev says boxing glove as well. We were talking about the Rock'em Sock'em earlier with Reader. She got that in my flipping head. Lord. But yeah, so like they're actually to get like if that's those two, most people are thinking that this is the Ranger here. If it is these two, they're together, and I know, you know, obviously, you know, this is a square here. You know, they're trying to, they can't fit them all in, but that could be very purposeful. You know, they could be some kind of trade here between the kind of what they are, you know, because we see obviously Harbinger have got elixirs. Has any other class so far got the same utilities as another class yet? I can't remember. Physical. Wait, what's the... Tempest? No. I'm talking about from this run. In Ender Dragons. So I'm talking to chat as well, by the way, if you're watching this live. There are some, or is there? I can't remember the names of the things. It's been so long. It feels like it's been so long. I can't remember. Did Worldbender get, are they physical abilities or there's something else? Let's have a look. Let's see if we can Google this. I need to remember. Worldbender utilities. I could just look at my own video and go and have a look. That would probably be a good idea. I'm going to just zoom in and have a look. Grand Trades utilities. So utilities are physical. So yes, there are some from core from other classes. Physical is much more. Physical is more general though, whereas elixirs I think are very specifically engineer. So if we think about, just for a minute, like we think about the green specifically, and we think about the fact that Harbinger has got elixirs, which is engineer, and if engineer was going to take some stuff from Necro, technically it already has, because we've got wells. I don't even think that's interesting. I don't think that, you know, Scrapper has wells, which is mostly Necro thing. And now Necro has elixirs, which means, you know, to be honest, they've kind of already traded in that respect. And then it wouldn't be a thing at all. But doesn't mean they can't, you know, continue that little trade-off. And now I understand why I love playing Necro. Spectrals. So that's what I was thinking. That's what I was talking about. I was talking about the Jade and like... we were talking about the Rock'em Sock'em, the robots, and like someone said about the fist, the mace looking like a fist, because it does. It looks like an extension of their hand. It looks like a fit, and it looks like a fist. There's even, if I don't know if you can see the quality of the stream and everything else, there's a tiny little crack here, and there's little indentations that make it look like a fist. There just is. And it looks like an extension, so it makes you think of a punch, or it makes you think of like an order to do damage or something like that. And I could go on for another 4 hours easily talking about this. Condi clearance on Core Engie is awful. Someone's asking in the chat, and Ukon is. Condi clearance on Core Engineer is not good. But it's better than it was, because you can do protection clearing with shield. You do have an elixir which is pretty good. It removes all conditions, all of them at once, but you have to use it like when you have a lot of conditions. And also you do have the tool belt skill to remove. HGH used to remove conditions as well, as far as I remember, but doesn't, just gives you might now. I think he used to. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. But we're talking about Core Engie. There's a little bit on healing turret. Obviously, you've got elixir gun. You've got light fields, which you can blast to get condition removal. So, and you got poison. You've got the fumigate on the elixir gun as well. You haven't really got much else. You've got some condition removal on tool belt. On your heal med kit. But there isn't a massive amount, in all honesty. So yeah, it's interesting to think about as well. Like, you know, does that mean that the mace is going to have some utility in that respect? Is it going to be more about inflicting conditions with the pistol? So this is the thing we all have to think about. And I keep saying it, you know, the pistol main hand is the only main hand weapon we've got. This is offhand. It's gotta be. The way they're standing, the way the foot is, you know, the claws, they're front facing, they're facing us. There's no one that thinks this is facing the other way, is there? Because it's not, unless they've got claws on the back of their feet. Also, I'm very interested to see what this armor set is as well, because this feels like it could be very much part of it. And we could go into the game and have a quick look. Should we do that? I'm very aware that we're playing a game today and it's not actually Guild Wars 2, so let's go and have a look. Let's go and have a look. It would be weird if it was facing the other way, yes, indeed. Let's go and have a look. And why don't we go on our chart engineer? This is very exciting. This image, like, it would be so much worse if we had like the other Lightbringer peeps here, because oh man, we'd be just going on for ages. They would have fantastic ideas as well. So looking at pistol, right? So let's have a look. Pistol main hand. Look at those skills, right? Discharge lightning shot. Bounces between foes. Blinding and confusing. We talked about this. There's already poison. There's bleeding. sure it's the condition weapon, obviously. And then shield, very, very, very defensive. We don't have much else. There's not much else we can do, okay? All right. I feel like this is going to be mid to long range. It could be. I don't even think it's going to be melee. I can actually bring the screen out a little bit now, so I noticed that. Actually, let's just do that. That's okay. Scourge didn't have main hand torch, for instance. That's true. Well, wait, what? Liberties are taken with splash art. I think everything that's been in the teasers so far has been fairly accurate. I don't think that there's not been anything incorrect thus far. So I think we can probably go off the fact that it's an offhand mace. But like I said, you know, they said talking about changing the rules and all that kind of stuff. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be just those two offhand skills. Let's look at gloves. Now, if there's anyone that could call out some armor, then maybe these kind of wiry, the cables. It could, but the thing is, that could be specific to. That actually looks really awesome. What is that? Sorry. Well, actually, I mean, this makes me want to look up skins like the maces, you know? I don't think there's any really cable-based gloves in the game. A lot of the armor and stuff that we've seen on characters on the teasers has so far been. That's very awesome. Has so far been in game, and I don't know what is that. Dominion Tribune. Okay, I want those. That's the fire ones. Yeah, no, cables is not something. I mean, yeah, like you say, cogs is something I'm thinking about. I'm just like, cables though? They look wicked. I keep forgetting that Char are just so much bigger, and that you can really see, like, is it a prototype? It makes me think it might be an Asura thing. And maybe there's someone screaming out that isn't being heard that may want to pipe in about this, but there's some really awesome glove skins here. I don't think so. I'm not seeing any. So I'm wondering, that could be very specific to the actual expansion as well, to be honest. That's cool. Alright, well, I don't think there is any. It might take a while. Now let's also have a look at mace skins, okay? Let's see. Thank you for the follows as well, very much appreciated. One-handed sword, axe, a dagger, mace. Okay, so Jebro's gonna go and get some maces now as well. See, it's interesting because you can't look at. Can you look at? You can't even look at mace in the offhand, can you? That sucks. Oh well. It's making me want to look at mace skins as well. The machined mace. It is pretty close actually. Yeah, it kind of looks like a big. I guess with the cogs and stuff. I mean, there is no mace in the game right now that looks like that mace. I don't think so. That is specifically a fist looking thing. There is only one legendary mace, right? Mace is such a weapon that's just... I've got my legendary journey to go, and mace is one of those things. Like, I don't know. Oh, there's two. Oh, Eureka. Is Eureka good? Oh, wait, I think I know where that one is. Oh. Is it really good? This is the legendary mace. Okay. Why is it good then? It kind of looks very... Ooh, I do kind of like that. It looks okay. But like the thing is, Moot is disco. Like, I mean, I don't know. Now we're thinking about what I'd actually prefer to go for. Sorry, we're not talking about the elite specialization teaser anymore, which is a failure. I'm going to leave the elite specialization talk there and carry on with the stream and talk about weapons and stuff. Let's go over there. Okay, right. It would be cool if it's a detached fist being launched at the enemies. See, this is the thing. I'm thinking it actually could be a longer ranged weapon as well, Aluin. Because we've had sword and because we've had hammer, I think this could be a mid, because like pistol is 900. You really do, like, if they must have thought about this in design, like they have to have thought about this, and they're intelligent, awesome people. They would have thought about it, because engineer's different. They've only got one main hand weapon if they make a offhand, which is why they didn't make offhand weapons for the engineer in the past for different elite specializations, because it doesn't give them any options. Sword gave them a shield, right? Let's think about this. Like, that made sense. Like, if, like, you know, and there was already pistol shield, and sword shield made sense, and a mace maybe would have made sense with shield. But now they've got the offhand, so the offhand has to maybe complement the main hand specifically. I mean, pistol shield doesn't necessarily make much sense, but you see pistol shield on different kind of characters in games anyway, and that kind of makes sense because it's defensive if they get close, and then you've got your range, right? And you've got the knockback to push them back, and then you can pistol, you know, you do your ranged abilities. That makes sense. So, you know, it makes me think that the mace is going to be either going to be defensive and it sends out golems to like keep that distance, or it's a ranged weapon, or both, or it's a ranged weapon and it actually sends out some kind of power, or maybe even Jade tech beam through the mace, or it's commanding, or it's giving boons, or it's putting some kind of effect on the enemy. I don't know. What if we look at where the concept art would fit into the collage of the classes together? Maybe normally NG is upper left. I feel it would be a little awkward if it was pointing this weapon at the rest of the group like that. I'm thinking they'd flip the image from this to fit it in the collage, and in that orientation it would be a main hand mace. Maybe. I'm pretty sure they're looking at us though. I don't think that is. I mean, yeah. If they flip it, then yeah, it will be. I don't know if there would be that tricksy. If you see the ear as well, it looks like it's behind the horn. I don't know. Really? Okay. I don't know. Would they be that tricksy? I don't know. They could be. If it was main hand mace, then, you know, I would still say the same thing. I think probably. I think I would say. But then it would be more like, you know, you'd be getting in there, and you know what mace is like on all the classes, on Guardian and on Revenant. You know, they slam the maces into the ground. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think the hand does matter. I think it does matter in this regard. I think it does. I think it has to on NG. NG's different. Should I tell you why? It's because I play. And also because main hand, offhand, and because they have so many weapons as well, I feel like it should be important. Maybe. I think you're right. I don't think it does have to be though, Ukon. Yeah, sure. Well, that's definitely this is off of one image, okay? Can't wait till the trailer. All I'm gonna say. It could be many, many things. In other words, I'm excited. Thank you very much for watching this elite teaser go through of the engineer. The final, no, but this is the last thing. This is the last classed teaser we get in for Ender Dragons. And I'm not gonna lie, and we've got Kroof in the channel who does this as well. I am actually very sad about that fact, because this is the last time we're going to be doing the teaser images speculation, and I've really enjoyed doing this. It's very, very sad. It's also kind of cool that engineer is the last class that we're doing this with. Gotta admit, it's getting me right in the hearts. Okay, I've got 2. I'm a time traveler. But it's cool. Yeah, we have come so far. This is 9th one. Engineer. Yes, indeed. I'm very happy. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I've done this live on Twitch. We're going to continue gaming, but this is going to be on YouTube pretty much straight after I've done it. I hope you enjoyed. Comment. Let me know what you think. I'm sorry this took so long. Also not, because I don't care. It's my class. It's my baby. Okay, you won't meet another engineer in Guild Wars 2 that's more excited than me about this. If there's any other engineer that's gone over this one image for an hour, link me the video, because I would love to see it. All right then, thank you very much for watching. Go and enjoy an epic logging screen. Oh yes, it's beautiful. And also, I'm gonna play this one song on the way out. Go! Cha 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 cha. Elite Specialization 4, the engineer teaser is done. Enjoy. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. All right, we'll do things bad to you. And if you like that, then that's good. And also Patreon.